I'm gonna take a video of this for no reason at all. I'm like halfway ready to lounge and be done with the day. Like, I'm not wearing a bra, but we're gonna do this anyway. Just because as I started opening this, I was like, oh, this is cool. I should do this again. So, somewhat real exciting backstory we're about to have. My house is invisible to the post office, at least. Uh, every third package or so that I order, I get like a giant exclamation mark on the tracking and it doesn't show up. And then I have to send angry messages and tell them where the house is and explain that it's out of order and that it's like half on a paper street. It's all a mess. But one of the things that I ordered recently, I'm trying to solve this like glare on my glasses situation, and it is not happening. So we're just gonna have to deal. One of the things that I've been doing recently is restoring, reacquiring my Fairies of Cottingley Glen collection, which, as far as I can tell, I lost when I had to move from Portland, and I'm bitter about this for layers of reasons, so many layers. But luckily, most of the collection is not difficult to find. I'm now missing 4 of them out of 10. One of them is readily available, and the others, 2 of them particularly, seem like they're going to be expensive and difficult to find, and I'm angry about it. I'm so angry. The layers. Oh my god. If you're interested for some reason, you should talk to me about my angry fairy layers, because there are many. But today, after let's see, the first error was, I didn't get an error. It was just, congrats, your item is available for pickup at the post office. How about no, motherfucker? I order shit from the internet, so I don't have to go somewhere and get it. That's how I roll. I get a lot of packages because I don't want to fucking go anywhere. If I could get my groceries delivered to me with like reasonable speed and accuracy, I would do the hell out of that. I hate going anywhere to pick anything up. Unless someone else is driving, then I'm chill. That is more layers of hate. Trying to stay on topic. Look how well I'm doing. So then I sent them a redelivery notice, and I got, nope, this package is undeliverable as addressed. Okay. Then today it says, hey, congrats, it's available for pickup at the post office again. Meanwhile, I thought they were going to send it back to the Etsy woman that I bought them from. Like, it's been confusing lately. Like, anytime they fuck up a package, they tell me, nope, it's going back and it's here for pickup and fuck you. Post offices are super inconvenient, by the way. Like, they're only open during business hours, and if you work anywhere away from like your home post office, like, you are royally screwed. I'm not taking leave to go to the post office. Again, this is why I have things shipped to my house. Bring it to my house. It is literally your job. I'm digressing hardcore, but I'm not sorry. So anyway, it ended up at my house today, despite that tracking is still like, come pick it up, asshole. And I'm like, so now I have a fairy. That's where this entire story was going. This fairy, this is why I decided to even do this. This fairy has been in this box for 20 years. Normally I buy these and I make a point of buying like ones that are already out and have been displayed, or like ones with open packages. That the other ones I got, like, the packages were open but they were still in the package. So basically I wasn't the one to mar the 20-year-old packaging that's intact. I don't usually like doing this for like weird anxiety reasons, but stronger anxiety is knowing that I had this damn fairy collection for 20 years, and then indirectly, thanks to someone, I don't anymore. Layers. So we're gonna open a fairy. Uh, I guess this is like one of those ever so like hated unboxing videos. This is just gonna be like a decarding video, I guess. Maybe, is this a lady talks about toys video? I don't know. This is what we're doing though. I have a sharp object here. Let us utilize this sharp object. Now that, God, I'm sorry for that noise I made as I inhaled air funny. Now that my other ones are opened in this way, where it's like, the box looks super great, I'm trying to do this. Like, I probably should be using like a hairdryer or something, but I thought that maybe like a 20-year-old package would just kind of come the fuck apart at this point. It's doing all right. We're getting there. I remember when I got these the first time, I didn't have this little nonsense here. I'm delaying this, isn't this great? About, well, it's backwards the way I'm viewing it on the camera, but you're going to just have to roll with me on this. That it was like this bonus, like royal fairy necklace thing. Like half the ones that I got were like before they started this promotion. So I was never able to get enough fairy things to get the fairy necklace. And then I think my extremely spoiled best friend at the time, she was an only child and she got everything she wanted. So I think her family literally bought her extras of the fairies so that she could get enough points to get the royal fairy necklace thing. My ass is bitter. Just like more reasons, more of the layers. It's like, no, this was a carefully curated collection. Collected specifically to make sure that I had a cooler collection than my friend, because I was 9. And that's how you roll when you're 9 years old and mostly an asshole. Alright, here we're going. So this is Hob, who was not super high on my priority list the first time around. I like her considerably more now. I don't know if that's just because I feel cooler about the color scheme. Let me rearrange her a little bit. Okay, so we've got a piece of plastic stuck to our chest. We have things stuck to the thing, stuck to our chest. Okay. This is better. And we're good. One of the things I really liked about these, I feel like my Hob had like larger hair. This one's not curling sufficiently for me. Can we make it bigger? Yeah, one of the things I like about these is just that they don't seem typically fairy to me. Like, you get fairy shit now and they're always in like a straight up dress, and they're all named like these really sappy kind of name. The fairies in this series actually all took their names from like fairy mythology, like fairy folklore, somewhat liberally in a way. They like, one of them is named Luti, which was great, except like Luti was the human person in the story and not the fairy. One of the fairies' names is Shellycoat, and that's like a thing that lives in the water and is covered in shells, so it rattles when it moves around. But in this series, it's this lady right on the end here, in the pink and the yellow. She was actually one of my favorites when I was a kid, but even then I was skeptical. Like, I was like, this doesn't match up to what a Shellycoat is supposed to be, because I was that kid for sure. But yeah, I think I remember Hob being one of the last few I got, and there was this weird thing going on with me and my friend where, like, I would get the ones that I really liked, and she would get the ones that she really liked, and we both eventually, I think, intended to get the entire set, especially because it was not hard. There were 10 of them, and they were like $7. But the thing that would happen all the time was, like, I would go over to her house, and then, like, we'd be playing with all these things, and I would see one of the ones that I hadn't wanted that she picked up, and she used to just get shit that she didn't even like. She just had to collect it all. But I would see them and be like, oh, that looks much better, like, out of the box, or not in the terrible photo on the back of the box. I want it now. So then I would have to go and pick it up too. We had a strange relationship, me and that girl. I think we were both like really isolated, strange, broken children, and so I hope that we were like okay for each other for a while there. Because yeah, I don't know. We were strange, but we both liked a lot of the same shit, and fairies and genies and that kind of thing was us. So let me pull out. They also come with stands, just like goddamn wonderful. I love shit that comes with stands. Thank you, toy maker, for like considering my feelings and my shelf space and other things like that. So these all come with stands, and they actually, this is like the continuing layers of my rage. Stands, they're shaped like leaves and vines. They also hold an effectively useless comb, which, let me show you. It pops into those holes back there. So we just toss this in here. Comes with an equally completely useless mirror. Like they can't hold them. I mean, here's Hob. Her hands do not clutch anything. So I mean, what? There's nothing to do with that. But it makes for a damn good stand. Like, it looks very complete. Look at that. It's leaves. Psych, it's a comb and a mirror. Like, it's a cool thing. So you can tuck her right in here. And when you have like 10 of these and you're 9 and you're playing on your floor like you do, you get people falling separated from their stands. And as a kid, I was that kid who was very particular. I needed to know what thing went with which stuff, and everybody had to have their original accessories kind of in their vicinity at all times, just so I didn't lose track of who owned what thing. The toys and things that I played with were very much like people to me. I said in like my first video, like, if you don't have real friends, there's always plastic. Like, this was kind of my life, actually. I had like 3 real, like, solid friends, and everything else was like deep and violent escape into fantasy time. Holy shit. So one thing I liked about these is that, you know, you have this color stand, and then there's like an aqua colored stand, and then kind of a green in between. They all had this on the back of them that showed you what color stand they came with. So you at least had a good shot of getting the right fairy back on the stand she came with. I think I eventually put like sticky notes on the bottom and labeled them like Hob, Shellycoat, Tib. But like, I had everybody's name where it was like a fucking kindergarten class. You know, everyone's labeled at their desks in their proper spots. Because again, I was that child. All of my fairies were in perfect condition when they were lost to the void of the post office. The post office and I are not good friends historically. I'm just kind of putting that together now. But continuing somewhat in this vein is that the other ones that I got, the used ones from someone else who had the packages, like, they sent me the packages pretty much like this, with the fairy inside. Like, sup, here's the package. It came with all this other garbage too, like the other junk that goes in here. But they had the wrong stand for my favorite fairy. And it was missing the comb. I don't use the comb, but as you can see, it's a nice effect on the stand. And when you're missing one, it's kind of lopsided. And like, now I'm a bitchy toy collector and angry about asymmetry. So I was like, do I have to buy an entirely new doll to get the proper stand for my favorite fairy? These are the kinds of things I worry about. Honestly, you're doing good when your concern is my leaves are the wrong color of plastic and this just will not do. That's what we got. So this is Hob. I have opened Hob. I would probably do like a more complete thing on another fairy on like a proper lady talking about toys thing. Maybe this was one. Uh, but for now, you just watched me open a 20-year-old plastic toy.